Welcome to my channel. Today we're looking at a 2022 action war movie called Sisu. It's 1944 and World War II is almost over. Finland and the Soviet Union have agreed to the Moscow Armistice, which means Finland has to get rid of the Nazis and kick them out of Lapland. The Nazis are destroying everything they think the enemy might use in a tactic called Scorched Earth. In the Lapland wilderness, a former Finnish commando, Korpi, decides to quit the war. He's with his faithful dog and a strong horse. Korpi is busy looking for gold in the river, determined to find at least a tiny bit to make sure he's on the right path. And eventually he finds it. Even though planes are flying overhead, going to a war he doesn't want to be a part of, he starts digging holes all over, looking for gold. After a lot of digging, he finally finds a big stash of gold, which makes him really happy. He breaks it into many pieces, hides them in his tent, and stays up all night to make sure no one steals them. The next morning, he puts all the gold in a bag and leaves on his horse. His dog follows closely. Later, he runs into some Nazi soldiers led by General Bruno. They have a dangerous tank and a truck full of kidnapped women. Korpi just rides past them, exchanging looks with Bruno, and keeps going. Wolf, one of the soldiers, wants to shoot him, but Bruno stops him, thinking Korpi is heading to his own end. Korpi keeps going and sees dead bodies left by the Nazis, but he's not bothered by it. He meets a truck with 4 more soldiers who make him get off his horse. They find the gold in his bags. Korpi tells his dog to run away, and when a soldier tries to shoot the dog, it escapes the bullet. Another soldier calls Korpi Grandpa and tries to shoot him too, but Korpi quickly uses his knife and kills the soldier. The other soldiers attack Korpi, but he fights back with his knife, even using their bodies as shields against gunfire. He beats up one soldier with his helmet. When another soldier attacks from behind, Korpi quickly disarms him and shoots him with his own gun. Bruno and his men hear the shooting and come back, only to find everyone dead and Korpi gone. Bruno finds a gold nugget in one of the dead soldiers' pockets and decides to chase after Korpi. Soon, the Nazis find Korpi on the road and start shooting at him with a tank. Korpi makes his horse run fast, dodging the shots, but accidentally rides into a minefield. Bruno tells his men to stop shooting and watches, expecting Korpi to die. But when a mine explodes, it's the horse that gets hurt, not Korpi. Korpi is shaken and says goodbye to his horse, then gets ready to fight back as the Nazis get closer. He quickly picks up the gold that fell out of his bag. Bruno stops his vehicles to watch Korpi pick up the gold, without risking their own lives. Korpi also grabs a rock before Bruno orders his soldiers to start shooting again. Korpi throws the rock at a mine, setting off an explosion that creates a smoke screen. He uses his gold panning plate as a shield while the Nazis shoot blindly. Bruno sends a young soldier to check on Korpi. Suddenly the mine flies out of nowhere and hits the soldier, making him burst in little pieces. Bruno then sends 2 more soldiers to sneak up on Korpi, but they also step on mines and die. When the smoke clears, they see Korpi has disappeared. Bruno is determined to find him and makes 2 captured women walk in front of their vehicles for safety. Bruno radios their headquarters to learn more about Korpi, and they're shocked to hear that they're lucky to be alive. It turns out Korpi was the most feared Finnish commando, known for being tough and vengeful. He lost his family to the Russians during the Winter War and became a lone hunter, taking down over 300 Russian soldiers. He's known as Kachi the Immortal. Bruno still wants to catch Korpi, thinking the gold will help him escape punishment since the Nazis are losing the war. Meanwhile, Korpi finds a burned truck with a dead body inside. He uses it for cover and treats his wounds. His dog comes back, showing its loyalty. Korpi falls asleep but wakes up when he hears the Nazis and their dogs who hunt on his trail. He hides under the burned truck. He watches as the Nazis and their dogs pass by. When the last truck comes near, he sneaks under it and damages its fuel tank, making it leak. This messes up the dog's ability to track his scent. The Nazis stop to think of a new plan, and Corpy sees a chance to escape. But the dogs find him, and even though a soldier shoots him in the leg, Corpy keeps going. Bruno lets the dogs chase him, but Corpy lights his gas-soaked clothes on fire, scaring the dogs off. The Nazis chase Corpy to a lake. Bruno tells his men to wait for Corpy to come up for air, but Corpy can hold his breath for a long time. When he finally comes up, the Nazis shoot at him, thinking they've killed him. 3 soldiers go on a boat to get the gold, but Corpy surprises one and kills him. Bruno sends another soldier, but he also gets killed. The 3rd soldier tries to escape, but Wolf shoots him for being a traitor. Corpy uses the dead body as a shield and gets away. Corpy's dog shows up, wanting to follow him but can't because of the water. After a long walk, Corpy reaches a town, but it's all in flames. He's really tired and goes to a destroyed gas station to rest. His leg hurts a lot and reminds him of when he lost his family. Just as he's about to sleep, he hears barking. Corpy comes out and finds his dog with a dynamite stick tied to it. He quickly gets rid of it, but the explosion is still close and knocks Corpy down. Bruno, Wolf, and Schweitzer find him and tie him to a signpost. Corpy stays quiet, earning respect from the Nazis. Before they leave with the gold, Bruno teases Corpy by leaving a nugget in his pocket. Corpy stands firm, even stepping on a nail in the signpost to hold himself up, and puts his wounded leg on another nail. The pain is terrible, but it keeps him awake all night, with his dog by his side. In the morning, a plane lands nearby, shaking the sign and making Corpy fall. 2 pilots looking for fuel find Corpy and his dog. One pilot wants to shoot them, but hesitates. Corpy hits the pilot's legs, making him fall and die. The dog's barking makes the other pilot check, and Corpy surprises him with a brick. Thinking he's doomed, Corpy buries the gold nugget Bruno left. But then he sees the second pilot is still alive. Corpy sees the pilot can be useful because of his plane. He gets the gold back and makes a plan. Corpy takes out all the bullets and stuff from his wounds, burns them shut with wire, cleans them with gasoline, and then he and the pilot leave in the plane, leaving his dog behind. Later, the Nazis find a crashed plane in their way. Wolf and Schutz check it and find the dead pilot with Wolf's rope around his neck. Bruno realizes how dangerous Corpy is and orders his men to leave fast. 2 soldiers take the women in the truck, and Aino laughs, saying they won't do what hundreds of Russians couldn't. She explains that Corpy isn't really immortal, he just never gives up, a trait called sisu in Finnish. She thinks the Nazis will all die soon. Suddenly, 1 soldier dies, and the other is pulled out of the truck. Then a tank runs over him. Aino tries to get the soldier's gun, but Corpy gets on the truck first and takes it. He realizes they're prisoners and lets Aino keep the gun. He climbs on the truck, kills the driver from above, and pulls out the body so Aino can drive. They drive the truck near the tank so Corpy can jump on it. The girls in the truck trick the tank crew with the dead body. Aino drives next to another truck full of soldiers, and they shoot them all, with Aino killing the driver. The truck crashes and the tank speeds up. Corpy stays on the tank and breaks the door with his pickaxe. When the tank stops suddenly, he falls off. Wolf comes out to shoot him, but Corpy climbs on the tank and fights Wolf. They fight hard and both fall to the ground. Only Bruno and Schweitzer are left in the tank. Corpy keeps fighting Wolf. When 2 more soldiers arrive on a motorcycle and see Corpy, they run away in fear. Corpy takes the motorcycle and chases the tank. Wolf thinks he's safe, but the women come back for revenge. The tank stops to meet a pilot with a working plane. Bruno kills the tank driver and takes off with another pilot in the plane. Corpy arrives on the motorcycle and shoots at the plane, breaking its windows. He puts the motorcycle under the plane and climbs up with his pickaxe. Bruno looks down thinking they've left Corpy, but doesn't see the motorcycle is empty. Corpy holds onto the plane with his pickaxe, nearly falls, but grabs a wheel. He makes a hole in the bathroom floor with his pickaxe to get inside. Bruno hears noises and checks, but Corpy attacks him as soon as he opens the door. They fight hard, with Corpy showing better skills. But his injuries let Bruno get the upper hand. Bruno gets mad that Corpy won't give up or scream and hits him with a static line. When Bruno tries to hit him with the metal end of the line, Corpy catches it, attaches it to a bomb, and lets go. Bruno falls with the bomb and they both explode. Corpy is tired and needs a break, but the plane starts shaking and Corpy checks on the pilot. The pilot is dead from a gunshot wound. Corpy grabs the bag of gold, straps in, and the plane crashes into a swamp, exploding. Meanwhile, a Finnish unit is ready for an attack when they see a German tank coming. But it's Aino and the girls with Wolf tied to the cannon. In the swamp, the water saves Corpy from the crash. He gets out with his pickaxe and still has the gold. A few days later, Corpy gets to Helsinki on the Nazi bike with his dog. He goes into a bank, making everyone nervous. He dumps the gold on the front desk and asks for big bills because they're lighter and easier to carry. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.